Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Bridgewater. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They run it with McKinnon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. And some room to work. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Bridgewater. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A dump down to McKinnon. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll try to run with McKinnon. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now McKinnon. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Here's McKinnon, and he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Folk's kick is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the third quarter. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 10. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They run once more with McKinnon. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And that's a good run, and I know he went out of bounds, so we can nitpick a little bit here and get on him and say, hey, make sure you stay in bounds, keep the clock running. But this stage of the game, Brandon, that's not really uppermost in his mind. He just wants to take care of the football and gain yardage.
Yeah, and they have a little bit of comfort there with it not just being a one-score game, so not too nitpicky. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. McKinnon. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From the gun, Bridgewater. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. Now a handoff here to his running back. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here again is McCannon. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Vikings on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. Give this time to the tailback. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And Folk's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. They'll run with Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Prescott to throw it. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for Minnesota, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Dallas, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Good night, everybody.